The Vreth Dominion had consumed 47 civilizations. Not destroyed them, consumed them. Absorbed their planets, their resources, their populations, folding entire species into the cold machinery of an empire that stretched across 6 star systems like an iron fist wrapped around the throat of the galaxy. Their warships were cathedral-sized monuments to destruction. Their commanders had never once filed a report containing the word retreat. In 300 years of expansion, the Vreth had not lost a single engagement. They did not understand the concept of a last stand. They were about to learn. Lieutenant Marcus Webb was eating a cold sandwich when the distress beacon activated. He dropped the sandwich. Colony 7, a human agricultural settlement on the edge of the Kepler frontier, was transmitting on all emergency frequencies. 40,000 civilians. Farmers, teachers, children. People who had come to the edge of known space looking for something quieter than Earth. They had found something considerably louder. Sir. Webb turned to Commander Diana Rourke, who was already standing at the tactical display, her jaw tight, her eyes reading data faster than most people could blink. Vreth Fleet. 43 vessels. They'll reach Colony 7 in 6 hours. The nearest United Earth Fleet response force was 19 hours away. Rourke stared at the numbers for exactly 4 seconds. Plot an intercept course, she said quietly. Webb looked up. Commander, there's only us. She looked at him with those gray eyes that had stared down 2 previous wars and said, simply, I know. The UES Defiant was not the largest ship in the human fleet. She was a mid-class destroyer, long, angular, scarred from 3 previous deployments, her hull patched in 17 places. She carried a crew of 208 men and women. Against 43 Vreth warships, she was mathematically nothing. Rourke didn't care about mathematics. She stood on the bridge as the Vreth fleet materialized on sensors. Massive, unhurried, moving with the arrogant slowness of a power that had never needed to rush. They expected no resistance. Why would they? Nothing had ever resisted them. Open a channel, Rourke ordered. The communications officer, Sergeant James Holloway, glanced up nervously. To all 43 ships, Commander. All 43. The channel opened. On the view screen, the angular face of a Vreth fleet commander filled the display. For cold eyes, gray-plated skin, an expression that had never once registered surprise. Rourke leaned forward. You are approaching United Earth colonial territory. Turn your fleet around, or I will turn it around for you. Silence. Then, something unprecedented in the 300-year history of the Vreth Dominion, the fleet commander actually laughed. They stopped laughing 40 minutes later. Rourke had not won by firepower. A single destroyer could not win by firepower against 43 warships. She had won by something the Vreth had never encountered in 3 centuries of conquest. Creativity born from desperation. She had used Colony 7's asteroid belt as a weapon, detonating mining charges in a calculated sequence that sent cascading debris fields directly into the Vreth formation. She had broadcast false sensor signatures, making the Defiant appear to be 5 ships instead of 1. She had targeted not hulls but engines, not shields but communications arrays, systematically blinding and crippling rather than destroying, turning the Vreth fleet into a confused, stumbling giant swinging at shadows. 3 Vreth warships were disabled. 7 more were damaged. And still the Defiant stood. 208 humans, in a patched, scarred destroyer, refusing to move. The Vreth fleet commander stared at his tactical screen. His fleet was in disarray. His communications were fractured. His forward vessels were reporting engine damage. And that single, impossible human ship was still there, wounded, venting atmosphere from her port side, but still there, still maneuvering, still fighting. He had never written the word in his life. He wrote it now. Retreat. Epilogue, what the galaxy learned. The United Earth Fleet arrived 19 hours later to find Colony 7 intact, the Defiant drifting on emergency power, and a debris field where 3 Vreth warships used to be. When the Admiralty asked Commander Rourke how she had held the line against 43 vessels, she shrugged, poured herself a coffee, and said, "They'd never met anyone who had something worth dying for." She took a sip. "We have that problem a lot. The Vreth Dominion never expanded toward human space again.